Pitch grounders, what is going on? I'm so happy to see you in this webinar. In this webinar, we're going to talk about LeadKlozer. That's right, LeadKlozer is back on PitchGround, and this time on an yearly deal that just costs 59 bucks. And we're going to discuss a lot more about it. The price ranges from $500 all the way down to $59. You can choose the plan you want to, depending on your whether you're a freelancer, you're an agency, etc. But LeadKlozer is here, guys, and that's a good thing. So in this webinar, we're going to discuss 5 things that Facebook doesn't allow you to do, but with LeadKlozer, it is possible. So what is LeadKlozer and why you should know about it in this webinar? Before we get on with all those stuffs, I want to wait for people who are joining in to our live stream. So I'm going to put a 30-second countdown to wait for more people to join in. That's 3, 2, 1, and we are back. Pitch grounders and Facebook marketers, welcome to this webinar. This is going to be a really quick webinar where we're going to show you how LeadKlozer can help you accelerate your Facebook marketing efforts like anything ever before. Because LeadKlozer is industry's first and only social media engagement and conversation tool for tracking, prioritizing, and responding to individual leads all in one place. Yes. When we're going to show you the LeadKlozer's demo in this webinar, you will be amazed by the features and the capabilities this tool has to offer. So we're joined by Steve, who is the founder of LeadKlozer. Steve, so happy to see you here.
How are you doing, Monique?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to the webinar today.
Awesome. So guys, I'm joining in from India. Steve is joining in from Denver, Colorado. Where are you joining in from? Comment down below. And if you have any questions during any time of the webinar, make sure to leave a comment down below because we will answer every single question that comes down here. Regarding Facebook marketing, etc., let us know and we will answer. So Steve, before we get on with, the relationship between PitchGround and LeadKlozer, we've launched deals so many times during our last Black Friday, before that as well. It's been amazing, the capabilities of LeadKlozer. But for new people, who haven't seen LeadKlozer, and why don't you give yourself a quick introduction of who are you and what does LeadKlozer do?
Sure. So, I'm the CEO and founder of LeadKlozer. My past life was in digital advertising agencies my whole career. I was a director of client service at a top 10 digital agency, and we had clients like Nike and Procter & Gamble and Visa. And I left that world and I started an online university where I trained over 10,000 entrepreneurs. How do you use Facebook, and primarily Facebook ads, to promote yourself, to grow your business from a cold audience? And while I was doing that university, the idea for LeadKlozer came up because my students were constantly coming to me and saying, this is fantastic, but I can't keep up with it, right? There's comments and replies and chat bots and reactions and so many different messages. And I know that I'm losing opportunities, right? I'm creating the engagements, but I'm not able to follow up because it's all falling through the cracks. And so I went looking for a tool. I thought, well, there's got to be a tool, right, that takes all those engagements for each individual lead and organizes it, and puts it into a profile and ranks and prioritizes those people and helps you manage the campaigns that you're creating, because there's no tool on the market that does that. And so I spent 6 months looking for that tool. All the way through, I talked to Salesforce.com, their head of social media marketing, and they're like, yeah, we do that. And I'm like, okay, show me a screenshot. Never could, right? Show me a demo. Never could. Oh, by the way, we could do that, but it starts at $15,000 a month. And, oh, you want to do lead scoring, which is ranking individual leads based on their engagements. Oh, yeah, we could do that. You haven't shown it to me, but that's another $10,000. So, the bottom line was there's so much opportunity because as social media marketers, and especially on Facebook, we can't do the things that are standard in other industries. Like just know who's our most engaged fans. The people that are the most engaged with us, the most engaged lead is the higher quality lead. That's the lead you spend your time with to nurture and close, right? That's a standard sales practice. But we've just accepted as social media marketers that we don't get that information. All we know is somebody's name, right? We're interacting with Steve McDonald, and we got to remember everything up here. Like, well, how many times has Steve engaged with me? How important is Steve? Is Steve a customer? Is Steve a lead? Is Steve somebody that's just started engaging with me? Is he somebody I've got a long relationship with? Like, we just have to keep that all up here. It's crazy, right? So that's what we're going to show you today. We're going to solve some of the biggest problems that social media marketers have that we've never been able to solve before.
Absolutely. And last week, guys, I can also see Shivram Mishra here, who is our who's a LeadKlozer user as well. He's been loving LeadKlozer. He got the lifetime deal last year, and he's just been loving it. Shivram, I see you. I just want to say hi. So yes. Hey guys.
Hey Shivram, how are you doing?
Yep. So Facebook marketers are like losing out on a lot of leads because of unable to keep a track of the ton of engagement that they've been getting. That is the whole premise. And we at PitchGround are also using LeadKlozer because we get a ton of engagement thanks to users like you on a Facebook group, etc. And just so many different comments, likes, and we run a lot of contests, and it's hard to keep a track. I used to do that when you said, okay, remembering each single person's name, and then it just becomes so hectic until LeadKlozer came in and solved the issue. So guys, if you have any kind of Facebook marketing issues, or if you have the same issue that Steve spelled it out, then let us know in the comments, because we're going to show you LeadKlozer live in action, where you can see how LeadKlozer will help you out in your Facebook marketing efforts. I've spoken to other customers in the meantime. I've told them about the webinar that's been happening, and they told like, we're an ad agency and we 101%. I was just telling them, hey, why don't you check out this tool called LeadKlozer that's on an yearly deal? They were telling me, we already got it because we are an ad agency and we understand the importance of a tool like LeadKlozer in our business. I was like, wow. It's like we would love to catch the replay once again. Come on to interact with Steve, show us and talk to new people who want to know about this. I was like, that is so good. I never saw such, enthusiasm for a product like, any other product on PitchGround.
And if there are agencies on the webinar here, let us carve out just a little bit of time at the end, because there are additional benefits to agencies over and above all kinds of stuff. Everything we're going to show is going to apply to everybody, every business that's trying to promote themselves with Facebook. But agencies even have an additional benefit that we should probably touch on before we leave today.
Absolutely. And we have special plan for agencies too. So guys, if you're an agency, then we got you covered. Absolutely. So Steve, why don't we get on with this webinar and let's talk about the main topic, which is 5 things Facebook, doesn't let you do that LeadKlozer does.
Perfect. Let me share my screen here.
Awesome. So guys, are you excited to see what are those 5 things that Facebook doesn't let you do, but LeadKlozer lets you do? That in turn drives maximum ROI for your Facebook marketing efforts. LeadKlozer comes in to score your leads, then find out on missed comments and all the scattered ones across your Facebook. And
so, hang on.
Yeah, I just showed the demo. I think your screen is being shared. Not yet.
Not yet. It's giving me a little bit of a problem here. So hang on one second.
Sure.
It's saying that it doesn't like my browser, doesn't want to share. The browser can't access the screen. Hang on, hang
It's
on.
all right.
We'll
Until then, pitch ground is tell us where are you joining this from, and tell us any questions about the tool, because we're going to end this webinar after we've answered all of your questions. So yes, bring on every single question that you've got regarding Facebook marketing, regarding LeadKlozer, anything, and we would love to answer it.
Yeah, I'm
So
still getting a StreamYard issue with sharing here.
yep.
You know
So
what?
StreamYard is having issues lately, and
What we can do is I can have you log into my demo account, and we can share the screen that way, because for some reason it just doesn't like my browser.
absolutely, let's do that.
Okay, here, let me just send you over the information to log in with.
Yes, there's a private chat here, or you can send it to me on Messenger. Anything is fine.
I'll just send it to you over on Messenger. We'll have everything up running here. So
Sure.
there you go. I sent it all to you on.
Sure. I'm just logging in right now. Let me know if you can see my screen. Mark is also joining in all the way from Hungary. Nice to see you, Mark. Awesome. So
There.
I guess you can see my screen.
Yep. So go ahead and sign in there.
Yes. So this is how the sign-in screen looks, guys. You can just log in, and you'll be off to a nice-looking dashboard. I know there are so many options here. You don't have to worry, because we're gonna go through the option. And if you have any doubts, or if you're going fast, etc., let us know, and we're gonna show you.
So why don't I just start out by giving kind of a little bit of an overview of what you're seeing here. So this is the home page of LeadKlozer, and inside the app, on the right side of the screen where it says Live Tracker, think about Live Tracker like you do your email inbox, right? Where the most recent email is just at the top. This is the inbox of all of your reactions, all of your comments, all of your message, all of your engagements on any Facebook page that is connected to your LeadKlozer account. So you can see, if you can just kind of hover over the top ones there, you can see thumbs up, and then you can see the third one down has a smiley face. Yep. You don't have to highlight it, but then the fourth one down has, it looks like a little comment icon. Those icons are signifying what kind of an engagement this was. So the one that you're on right there, go ahead and click on Kristen's name.
Yes.
She is a brand new person. She's engaged with the page once. You see the blue dot around her profile image there?
Yes.
That automatically shows that she's new. So part of what I'm going to be showing you here is how you have context that's going to allow you to interact with people in a very personal way, right? So she just commented. All right, so close off of this right now. We automatically create a profile for someone anytime they have an engagement. And then we add every subsequent engagement to those profiles. So now on Kristen again, right to the right of the chat icon, there's a blue link that says typical, click on that. We're gonna open up there the actual Facebook post. So this is the post that she commented on. And you can see right below the image, it says 31 comments. There's 31 comments in total, right there. But we're only showing her comment because that was the engagement line item we clicked on. So you can like her comment, you can click on the reply down below, and it'll open up a box. You can type your reply and hit the send. You can actually, right to the left of where the cursor is at, there is a green, looks like a little sticky note. Yeah, click on that. This is your scripts. So you can preload scripts and then scroll over to the very right on any of those scripts, like keep scrolling to the right, and then click that icon on the far right, copy to clipboard. Yep, click off of that, and now paste it into the write a reply area. It's just that easy to like bring in the scripts of the things that you're interacting with people the most. We don't want to send that reply, but that's just an example there. You can hide comments. So this live tracker, so go ahead and click off of this. Yep, just click off to you click up there, or you can click to the right. This just shows every engagement, and you never leave LeadKlozer. You can just reply, whether it was a message, whether it was a comment. But what I'm going to show you is something that no one else does. No tool brings in reactions. Well, why is that important to bring in reactions? Because a reaction is where somebody stopped in the news feed and engaged with your content, right? That is a micro event, right? And if we're looking at who's the most engaged, we need to keep track of all those engagements. And every time somebody engages again and again and again, you know what happens? Our lead ranking system moves them up. And so if you could, like the second person there, Christy, do you see it right below her profile image? There is a number that says SC90. That is her SMART score. That is our internal lead ranking system. Everybody has a SMART score. And she's got a 90. The person right above her has 16. So right away, as I'm engaging with these people, I can see if they're more engaged with me or less engaged with me. The dot to the right is now green. The second engagement that they have automatically turns them from new to green or neutral. Now click on that dot. And let's just say she commented, let's just say you went back and forth, had a great mini conversation right over the comments and replies. And you're like, I want to move her up to a warm lead. So now click on warm. And see how her dot just turned to orange and her SC score just went from 90 to 105. Because you just told LeadKlozer she was more important. You said she's a warm lead. Well, now I can see visually she's a warm lead. I can see that she's got an SC 105. Now the dot to the bottom left. Scroll over onto that dot. Yep.
Yes.
And click on it. No, not the orange dot, sorry, the one on the other side of her profile image.
Yes.
Yes. That is her direct communication dot. Anytime that somebody has established on Facebook direct communication with you, they've commented, they've messaged, they've interacted with the chat bot, it'll come in here. And you can just click the comment open, and it looks like she probably did an emoji in her comment, but scroll down below. And
yes.
There it is. Yeah, she attached an image. So you can reply because you know you've got, anytime somebody's got that one-on-one communication dot, anywhere that you see them, you know, hey, this is somebody I can talk to. I've got the ability to message with them. So now go ahead and click off of this. This is all lead, highly successful context for working with leads. So, and now click on her name, Cindy Sunshine, there, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And now we're going to bring up her SMART profile. On the right side, that's her last comment, you saw that. On the very right above that, do you see where she's engaged with the business 22 times?
Very interesting. This alone itself can, amplify the way we communicate with the person.
Right. And now scroll up and down on that right column there, and you'll just see all of the engagements that she has. You can pop any of those open. On the left side, yep, you scroll down. Now on the left side, do you see where you see her face, her profile image? To the right of that, it says a minute ago. And it says my last activity. That's the page. That's the last time I interacted with her. To the right of that, it says 3 minutes ago, that was the last time she interacted with you. So you have this sense for when this relationship is going on, what's the most recent communication there. And then down below, you see her picture, you see tags, stages, and products. Okay. Now, tags is what we know from any other application we've had. It's just a way to classify somebody, right? So hover over tags and click that little edit icon and click into the search. And let's mark her as a VIP. Just click VIP and say, I'm going to add that tag today. So click add, and I'm going to save it.
Awesome.
Now she's classified as a VIP. Now I can do a search and say, bring up all my VIP leads.
Wow. This is social media marketing. I mean, unlike never, I can never imagine that we can do it, all of this on Facebook, because this was done within a CRM or within any other tool, but not in social media marketing, guys. This is interesting. I wish we had for every other platform, but we're having it for Facebook, and this is interesting.
And we're going to roll out other platforms, but this is taking the best of the world of CRMs and applying it to Facebook marketing. So right below that, the stages, that's the sales pipeline, right? So like if you were a lawyer, let's say, you would have a consultation as a part of before you actually closed a client, right? So in your sales pipeline, you would have a stage called consultation. So you could apply a stage, and if one of those stages was consultation, you could bring up a list of everybody you've had a consultation with in the last 30 days, right? And make sure you're following up with those people. Products are just your products. You put them in once, and when they buy, you just apply a product. Go ahead and apply the product. Like just pick maybe Pro plan or PG, whatever one. Yeah. Now say add that today. They bought today, and save it. Now it'll appear there, but two other things happened. Right to the right of her profile image, it now says customers. She was a lead before, but we just said bought a product. So we automatically created her as a customer. And now to the top left of her profile image, there's the $ icon. That's an icon that when you see anywhere throughout LeadKlozer, like in Live Track or everything, you're like, oh, I'm engaging with a customer, right? I'm going to react to a customer different than I do to a lead, a new lead, a lead that's had a good relationship with me. This is all the sales closing context. And your best opportunity for sales is to upsell, cross-sell existing customers. So we need to have at a glance, while we're interacting with people, all this information, okay? All right, so close off this profile, and you can put notes in, all kinds of stuff in there. You can schedule future follow-up activities. If you want to show that, like see where it says none, right to the right of 7 minutes? Go to the right of her, click that, and say, just write in test for the description. And let's say we just had a really good conversation with her, right? And now we're going to follow up 2 days later. So go ahead and click on to the month, day, year right there.
Yeah.
And and you can put down the time you want and just save it. Now what's going to happen on the day that we have that follow-up, I'm going to get an email as the owner of this page that says, here's your follow-ups for today. So what you want to do is you want to be following up with leads in mass, schedule your, communicating with them, scheduling your follow-ups, and forget about it, right? Done. I'm not going to think about this until the 13th when I scheduled it, right? Because we can't keep all that in our head. 75% of leads are never followed up with because they don't have a system to do it, right? We can't juggle all that in our heads, and Excel spreadsheets are clunky and it's hard to get information in there. And so this is a way that you're going to get leads, you're going to identify them, you're going to understand all the context around them, you're going to schedule follow-ups, and you're never going to miss a follow-up opportunity.
True. Now I can also relate it to my own thing where in PitchGround, we are doing webinars, we're doing use cases, and a user was like, hey, whenever you publish use case videos, why don't you let us know? Or whenever this deal is live on PitchGround, why don't you let us know? And we know when the deal goes live and we want to let them know, but we forget it because we don't use tools like LeadKlozer. We just maybe try to remember it in our head, but that doesn't, as Steve said, we don't follow up with our leads. That's where we're losing money, guys. But with this schedule activity, it will notify me on that particular date and time. Then I can just reply to the user and say, hey, this is the deal is live. Why don't you go check it out?
Yep.
That's
So here's,
how
I'm going to show you how you can do that, because let's just say you created a let us know tag, right? And then you just wanted to do a search for everybody that had the let us know tag over the last month, right? You can, we have a tool called in here called Smart Search, and you can just think about it as like the Google search engine of your whole database of contacts here.
Yeah.
Like click on the Smart Search at the very top of the page. There's a green button that says Smart Search.
Okay, I just clicked it.
Or you can click on it there. Here we are. I'm going to show you, we're going to bring up everybody that has a VIP tag, or it could have had a, let us know tag. So right now there's leads, customers, and network. Those are the three different contact types that you can customize. You can call your customers clients, you can call your leads prospects, you can call your network partners, or whatever you want. Let's just leave it at that. The third column over says tags. Go ahead and click on tags. Now click the next button in the bottom right corner, and it's going to ask you to pick your tags. So click the choose tags, click on VIP.
Yes.
And now click search in the bottom right corner. I could change the date when those tags got applied. And what's going to come up here is a list of everybody. And if you look in the tags column, everybody has VIP, right? So now I have a follow-up list. By the way, Shibaram, did you see that you were at the top of that list? You're a VIP inside of LeadKlozer, dude. And these are all ranked. The top is by their SMART score, right? So the people that met your search criteria are stack ranked in priority order by the level of engagement, right? So now you can click into Shibaram, go ahead and click into his name. And he said, hey, notify me. I'm going to go ahead and click onto his one-on-one communication dot.
Which is
that's the bottom left corner of his profile image. The bottom left corner, No, the other one, sorry. So the one that looks like a chat icon. And look, I can message him. I can just open up the inbox, send him a message, right? So it's that easy. You just created a follow-up list, and you know whether you have the ability to communicate one-on-one with those people, and you just click on their one-on-one communication dots, send them, hey, LeadKlozer's launching, you wanted to let me know, send the message, and move on to the next one. But you've got a list of everybody who said, hey, let me know, right? And you brought your let me know tag list up, and you just went down the list, sent out all the messages, and you just followed up with every lead. So that's the idea, right? Is that you're never going to miss an opportunity because you can classify people any way that you want.
Sales teams are going to love this.
So do me a favor, click off of Shibaram's smart profile there, and I'm going to show you something else that is something you never could do on Facebook before. Okay, click on go to the left column there, navigation, and click on Live Tracker Columns. Yes. So we showed on the main dashboard the inbox of all your engagements, right? Now what we're going to do is kind of like if you're familiar with Hootsuite, like columns of different kinds of activity, right? But now because you have LeadKlozer and you have like 20 plus different ways that you can create columns. Okay, so I'm going to have you go to the second column over that says super fan comments. Okay, what this column does is it takes the top 10% of your SMART scores. They're your super fans. They're the most fans, and it says, show me every time they make a comment, because I never want to miss a comment from a super fan. They're my most engaged, right?
True.
So that's an example. Go ahead and click on the Add New Column button at the very top of the blue bar there. I'm just going to show you. You can name columns, write descriptions, but like, do you see where at the bottom it says engagements? Click that open. Just click on it, and then if you wanted to create like a column of like all of your comments, right? Just, I never want to miss a comment again. Click off of the green engagement icons there that aren't comment/reply. Just click the little X on those. And we're just going to take them out. Not the comments one. We want to leave that one. Oh, you just took out comments. So
Okay.
go ahead and take all those out, and we'll add comments back in.
Sure.
We just want to leave comments. We're gonna create a column of all comments. Okay, now click on search and put comments back in, comments, replies.
Yes.
All right. Now you got to name this. Say, like, go to the top and write in a name, say all pages, all comments. And I have 3 pages attached to this particular account. So I don't want to miss any comments. Now go to the bottom and save. You just created a column that you're never going to miss a comment on any of your pages, across any posts, across any ads. They're going to all come right here. And you just go to the very top one and click where it says video only, because
video only. Yeah.
That's going to bring up the post, and there's that person, Amy, and you can reply to her right there. You can you can reply. So it's just that easy, right? So now you can create columns of things like, I want to see all comments from my customers. I never want to miss a customer making a comment, right? I'm going to create a column just for that. I want to create a column that shows all the messages that are coming into my page or pages. Right now, I have 3 pages attached to this. I would have to go to 3 different tabs in Facebook and monitor 3 different inboxes. So scroll to the right. I think we already have a column that shows all messages. So you just got to just kind of highlight in the middle of the columns and just scroll.
Okay, so
now scroll left.
One second.
Just put the cursor on and kind of like,
yes.
There you go. Just easy to scroll. So here's all customer engagements. You see that. Scroll a little bit more to the right, the one that's off the page a little bit. It says 3 current ad comments. So these are comments. You see the little ad icon? These are comments on the 3 ads I have up and running for my business right now. I don't want to miss a comment on any of my ads, right? Show it to me, right?
And it's also scoring those leads.
And you're seeing all that context at a glance. So now when these people have engaged with me, I can see, have they engaged a lot with me? Are they a brand new person? What kind of one-on-one communication do I have with them? I have all of that information. But the idea here is that you know your business best. You know what ads you have running. You never want to miss, customer engagements. You never want to miss inbox messages. But I'm going to show you something here that is now going to open up an entire new class of leads for everyone. All right. Scroll back to the left a little bit. I want to see some columns that are on the left side. No, the other way. Yep. Now stop right there. Yeah. Do you see the one that says top 10% plus reactions plus one-on-one communication? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what this column is. It's your super fans, that top 10%. So now only people that are going to show up here are my super fans, and only people that are going to show up here are people that I have one-on-one communication with. So like the top one is the actual page owner, but you see the second, third, fourth, all of them on down here have the one-on-one communication dot. Because I said, I only want to see people that I've got one-on-one communication with. And I'm only seeing my top smart score, my super fans. So my super fans, I have one-on-one communication with, and they've just reacted to something. We get, all of us, on average, 10 times as many reactions as we do comments. Yet we all try to reply to comments because we can reply to comments, right? But what if I told you that you got say 40 comments on a post? Then on average, you're going to have 400, 500 reactions. What this column shows you is, of all of those reactions, who are the most important people? And the ones that I have communication with because I can click open that one-on-one communication dot and I can reply to that reaction. That person just stopped in their newsfeed and engaged with my business. And they're important people because they're at the top of the superfan list. So they're my most engaged people that are reacting, and I can reply to them. You've now opened up a whole new follow-up strategy in your business. You can reply to reactions. These are all new Facebook messaging steps we've never had before, right? Think of all the wasted follow-up opportunities, because the best time to follow up with a lead, and these are your most important leads, is when they're engaging with you. Here's real-time engagements that are things that you couldn't follow up before. No tool even showed reactions. Yet now you've got follow-up reaction or a reply. You have the ability to follow up and reply to these people. Before, reactions were just social proof on our posts and ads. And that's really good. But why shouldn't we reply to them? That's the name of the game, right? That's what we want to do. We want to create the conversation.
True.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to have you do, because I know we want to keep time for questions and answers. I'm going to have you, this right here, I'm going to show you how we're going to solve the #1 mislead opportunity on Facebook. And I've had really good fortune to talk to the top social media marketing influencers, top digital agencies, entrepreneurs, and everybody. I asked the question, hey, are you guys missing leads on Facebook? And everybody's like, oh yeah, of course. So then I asked, what's the #1 mislead, right? What's their perception of what's the #1 mislead? And they all say, I can't keep up with comments. So on the sidebar, right below the live tracker columns is the missed comment tracker. Why hasn't Facebook given us one dashboard where we can see all of our comments across all of our posts and ads and just make sure we haven't missed any, right? They just don't. So what we're showing here, we're on by default, the posts only. So you see the middle column there that says missed comments? And there's a 1, a 3, a 2, a 27, right? Those are all comments that have not been replied to by an admin or an editor of the page. So in other words, you, right? They're comments you've missed. So let's take one of these and open it up. Like maybe click on the 13 now of 17 down there or something.
Yeah, let's click on this.
So click on the number 13.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah, close that one out. I want you to click on the actual number, the 13 itself.
All right.
Yep. Okay. Now, of 17 comments, you're seeing the ones that are open here, the little badge is open. Those are all comments. Like you can see, nobody's replied to them, right? So they're open, they're missed, right? And if you scroll up, there's 17 total comments. See that number, remember? There's 17 total. We're only showing the 13 that you didn't. You can click the 17 and see all of them, right? But now when you reply, it'll automatically close it. Or you can hide it, or click on one of the opens there. Yeah, now click manually close. Now it's manually closed, okay? Now click back off of the pop-up here, back onto the missed comment tracker. Now that 13 is a 12.
Interesting.
Right, so the goal here is to have zeros up and down this column. If you don't have zeros, you basically haven't replied to all of your comments, right? So go ahead and click on another one again, like the 12, click on it again. So the last thing I want to show you here is scroll up a little bit more. And do you see where it says missed comments on? It's right below you can click on that and it'll automatically close all comments. So let's say you're a bakery and you put out a post and you say, do you like pumpkin pie or blueberry pie better, right? And people are writing pumpkin, blueberry, like maybe you don't want to reply to all those. You just turn all the comments off, right? So what we've given you here is a way to manage very easily. Last thing I'll have you do, click off of this post. Yeah, don't close all, just close it, right? Yeah, just click off and then click back onto the missed comment tracker and click onto ads only. this takes about 5 or 6 seconds to load just because we're pinging like
Yes.
different APIs. What we've added here that's different is the bold headline is actually whatever you have created as the title of the ad itself. So it's just posts don't have ad titles, right? So we just treated this a little bit different. So when you're scrolling up and down, you can actually, if you want to, you can hover over the thumbnail image, you can hover over the text, and just to refresh yourself, okay, well, which post or which ad am I actually looking at here? You can look at the text, look at the image, and then in the upper right corner it says last 30 days in the green. I'm looking at comments that have come in across all of my ads over the last 30 days. I could change that to the last 7. I could change it to the last 90. The bottom line here is the number one missed lead opportunity for all Facebook marketers are missed comments, and you never have to miss a comment ever again.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and close off of that.
Yeah.
I know that we're like at the 45-minute mark here, and I could go on for hours, but what we've already covered is, I think we've covered the 5. Lead context, just being able to see who and know who you're talking to. If you go onto Facebook, all you see is a name. That's one.
True.
Missed comments, that's another. A whole new class of leads that's replying to likes, that's yet another. This live tracker columns that you're looking at right now, when I talk to agencies, this is the reaction. Like, we like creating the campaigns for our clients. We don't like managing them because we can't ROI that, right? It takes too much time. And so they're looking at this and they're saying, okay, well, I can hire an intern. I can hire an entry-level person. And based on setting up all the columns, we can manage all their ads. We can manage their customer, their lead flow. We can never miss a comment. We can never miss a message. We can do everything in a fraction of the time and more than we ever thought we could. So what they're doing is they're saying to all their existing clients, hey, let's take that management of the campaigns off of you. Because if agencies don't want to do it, guess what? You're trained in social media experts more than everybody else. I guarantee your clients don't want to do it and they don't do a good job. And ultimately they come back to you and they say, a lot of good leads, but they just didn't convert. And all of a sudden the value of your campaigns overall is diminished because they're not following up well with them. Well, now hire an entry-level person, charge another US $1,000, $1,500 a month, and manage it, show more value overall, increase the perceived value of your overall campaigns, make more money, get more sales for your clients. It's a better retention strategy for clients overall, and you're getting paid more money to do it. So
True.
Huge, absolutely huge. The last thing that I want to show that is something you've never been able to do before, and it's actually a feature that came live today.
Wow.
Go back to the dashboard. You can click at the top of the left hand. Yep, you just click home there. And then down below, do you see where it says smart links and there's the blue-green buttons?
Yes.
There's an SEL button. Click on the SEL button. That's your super engaged leads, okay? So this is one list that shows all of your leads in rank order, and in the upper right corner, it says total records found 28,403. There's 28,403 individuals that have engaged with the pages that are attached to this account. They are all ranked here in priority order by their SMART score. So you see SMART score 274, 287. So for the very first time, you're able to create a list of your super fans in priority order. And you can see which ones you have one-on-one communication with. Like the top one, Irene Cooper, just click on her one-on-one communication dot.
I think it's
Just click on that little dot, the little chat icon dot. Not that one, the other one. Yep. And there's her most recent comment. I can click on that, open it up, and reply. Right. So this is a way that you can stay in touch and follow up with your super fans that you never even knew you had super fans before because you couldn't keep track of it. But that's really cool, right? Super fans. But click back off of the pop-up there. You see at the very top, it says export/custom audience.
This is powerful.
So click on that. This just came out today. I want to create a custom audience of my super engaged fans, my super
Wow.
fans, right? This is a way to create a custom audience and then lookalike audiences like you've never had before. Wouldn't we want to create an audience of everybody who's the most engaged and then create a lookalike audience and say, now find people that are like that? That is creating an ad strategy that you've never had before.
Absolutely.
So basically, you just type in like how many of these 28,000 we want to download, and what you're going to get is a spreadsheet that has UIDs, user identifications. You'll upload in creating a custom audience, and you've now got a super fan audience. So again, I could go on and on, but I think I covered at least 5 of the things you can do on Facebook you never could do before.
Easily.
Yeah. And there's more. These are just the ones that I just went in a short period of time. I wanted to make sure that we got through and had time for people to have questions.
Absolutely. So I'll just come back. And wow. But I can hear myself. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I can see and hear you.
No, I mean, I'm able to hear an echo. I'm not sure why.
Oh.
So we have a lot of questions, by the way.
Okay.
A lot of questions.
All right.
Very interesting. So Manoj says he wants to export the comments of a single post. Is that possible?
That's going to be possible next week. So that export button that I just showed you is on that Super Engager leads list. We're going to put it on top of that, and that list is basically a smart search list. Remember we showed you smart search, right? And you could say, like we did the VIP tag list, right? So you could say in smart search, show me everybody that has commented on my ads this last month, and a list will come up, and you'll be able to export that whole list. So any smart search list that looks like that list of VIP people or that list of Super Engager leads, it's all formatted the same, we'll have next week an export button on top of it, and you'll be able to do exactly that.
Interesting. Manoj, I hope that answers your question. And Blue Popovich asks, engagement is measuring interactions, not sentiment. Do you have any way to rank the overall engagement with sort of warmth metric from angry, annoyed, complaining to someone who is warm or positive?
Yep. So we don't have that yet. And I'll tell you, there's inherent issues in trying to get warmth metrics, right? So the people that put angry, annoyed, reactions on your posts and your ads are typically not your best leads anyways, just right away. Okay. So if you're seeing somebody that's like putting an angry, reaction on top, or they're making a negative comment, what you do is, remember we changed that green dot to orange and made them warm. There's also a cold dot. There's a gray dot, and that means they're cold. Okay. So then anytime that you see them, you're like, that's somebody who has had a negative, engagement with the page. All it takes is one, right? But one negative engagement with 10 positive engagements, all of a sudden that warmth metric, right? You see the issues here. So what we've done is we've empowered you. When somebody is interacting in a negative fashion with your business, you just make them cold. And then you can exclude them from any list that you create, any follow-ups. That's the best way to do that. But throughout history, the number one metric, and we've all heard it, right? The more engaged a lead is, the more important they are. So our smart score, every lead scoring metric in any CRM tool is all about engagement. So that's what we've done here. And then just empowered you to make sure that you can just mark those people as cold and like move on, right? And you can hide their comments and everything. And if they're too much of a problem, you block them from your page.
Absolutely.
But it's a really good question. And we thought a lot about it. But we think this is what all CRM tools have basically landed on, is you want to stay on engagement, but empower people to deprioritize, the negative people.
Blue, I hope that answers your question. And Manoj says yes. He's so excited for the feature that you're going to roll out next week. He's like, thanks for this feature. Is going to power up the social marketing.
So do me a
Absolutely.
favor, send me a message on the LeadKlozer page when you do this, and I want to know what your experience was like, and let's talk a little bit about how you can use it. So
Awesome. Manoj, you can message it, and yes, you can become a hot lead for the LeadKlozer page. Yeah. So we see, did you just say you're bringing your platform to other networks like Instagram, LinkedIn? Would we be grandfathered into these new features? I
yes,
mean, yes.
yes.
Awesome.
Now, I can't promise because there's a lot of different hoops that you've got to go through, and we're prioritizing, so we can add networks or we can make sure that we got the right features and roadmap items that everybody's been asking for the networks that we have. So so the answer is yes. The next one is Instagram. And the reason why it's Instagram is because I used to have Instagram way down the list in terms of integrating. And the reason why is because the API that third-party developers have, it was crap. It's just junk, right? But they announced in October, one of the reasons why is because they didn't bring direct messages in. So they didn't allow any third-party app developer to have access to direct messages. They announced that that's coming into the API in October, and they had a very small group of developers that are actually in beta test with that new element of the API. And as soon as it goes live, we're integrating Instagram. But we're actually integrating Instagram in the next couple of months anyways, in anticipation of that. Because if you do, like, say, Facebook ads, and you just say all placements, you're automatically across Instagram too. So like the missed comment tracker, you should want to, be, tracking missed comments across Facebook and Instagram, right? So that's part of the API right now, likes and comments. So next couple of months, we're going to bring that in. And then when they allow all third-party app developers to bring in direct messages, we're going to integrate that as well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Blue, I hope that answers your question. Yes, Instagram is my favorite platform as well. And many times I could just go on talking about Instagram for hours. But many times we see, just for the pitch ground accounts, that the missed comments, etc. That is like a whole new, feature. If it comes out for Instagram, it's going to be insane. Yes, and it is coming out, which is amazing.
Yep, it's coming out.
Yes. So, can the system detect questions? Because not necessarily comments, but just the comments that are questions.
No. So there's nothing that we have, honestly, that looks at the comment itself and then flags and makes determinations. That's like a Google search, $1 billion kind of a question. I'd love to have something like that, but what you need to do, whether you're a business or an agency, you just need to have somebody that just monitors these and can answer the run of the mill, but the ones that are important or need your attention in particular, they get flagged for you, right? So the answer is no, but the answer is that we're solving the number one problem, which is I can't even keep up with the comments, period, let alone know whether they're a comment that just says apple pie versus blueberry pie, or is there a legitimate question. But you won't miss them, right? You can scan up and down very, very quickly just the open comments and see the ones that are important you want to reply to.
Awesome. And we have one more comment that says, it will show like the fan followers, the most likes and engagement by a person. Yes.
And ghost follows, no likes, ranking, and engagement. So the ghost follower, in order to come into LeadKlozer, they have to engage, right? So if somebody's literally just in the background and never ever engages, right? You've got no way to communicate with that person, right? But they'll never come into LeadKlozer, because what triggers, a smart profile being created for somebody is an engagement. But this is where LeadKlozer is differentiated than other platforms, because no other platform does the lead scoring, but they don't even track reactions, right? And
True.
that's when we find people in there, like they'll have a really good smart score, but no one-on-one communication done. And the reason why is because they're chronic likers, right? You go down like, man, they've liked this page 57 times. Well, okay, so that's somebody then that you reach out to, you send a friend request, right? And or you call them out on a Facebook Live, like you see them liking or something, and you call them out. Like, never before have you been able to see what one of those social media marketing influencers called it, is that we're bringing to light the lurkers, right? People lurk in the background on social media, checking you out. But as they lurk, they leave footprints, right? So the vast majority of those lurkers are going to have left footprints. And that's what's going to come in, right? And that's what's going to allow you to create them into a lead. So I guess it's a level of ghost followers, right? What I'm calling a lurker, but they have to have some kind of a reaction to come in.
And it's going to show you how many times they have reacted to your page. This is interesting. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you look at these people and you're like, I don't know that name. Like, shoot, they got a smart score of 205. Who's that person? And you click open their smart profile, you see they've engaged 62 times, and you scroll up and down the right side of the smart profile, and you're like, oh yeah, smiley face, heart, like, and they're just chronic likers. You're like, okay, but now I know that's a lead, right? Now I know I got to reach out to that person. So those are powerful things that what we tell everybody is you got to train either yourself, or if you've got even like an intern, like somebody that will even like work with you for free because they want to get social media marketing experience, right? And you just train them and you to look for these things, because you, with your campaigns, your Facebook campaigns, you've created all of this engagement. You've created the opportunity, and you're missing a huge amount of it because you just can't see the comments, you can't identify the leads, you can't find the lurkers, right? You're missing columns of activities. You're missing activities from engagements from customers. It just, you're now able to follow, reply to likes. You can see super fans. Think of all the value that was left on the table from campaigns you already have created. From your existing campaigns, think about how much more value you have from them now. Right? That's the power here. You should be pissed off. You're like, dang, right? I missed all that before. I couldn't even see all of that before, right?
True.
You created the brilliance behind your campaigns, and you're just not getting the value out of them. So that's what we're trying to help you with.
And Chaitanya now says this is unexpected, not expected that this tool will have that in-depth lead generation and smart features. A must-have for marketers, community builders, and social media influencers. We'll surely give it a try. Hats off to the advanced thinking and implementation by the team. All the best. Wow, Chaitanya, we will just mark you as the hot lead, right now. Amazing. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for this lovely comment. And yes, this indeed is a game changer if you're taking your Facebook marketing into consideration. And without LeadKlozer, honestly, you're missing out on a lot of money. That's a lot of leads who could have converted into your customers.
Well, thank you very much for that comment that's on the screen here. Sometimes the best things in life come, like, need is the mother of all necessity.
Necessity is the mother
of all invention, right? So I trained over 10,000 entrepreneurs, and this was the problem, right? And we recognize it. It's like, you're just not getting the value you should, right? And when nobody else did it, I've never been a SaaS founder before. I'm like, this just has to be done. This just has to be done. So anyways, two things in the roadmap that are coming out, by the way, is integration with Zapier. That'll be up by the end of next month. So you're doing Facebook lead ads and you're collecting email addresses, and you want to zap that over to MailChimp or something and start drip campaigns. You'll do all that kind of stuff. The other thing is a whole notification system is coming out next month. So think of those live tracker columns, right? And say, I want to get notified. I may not be in my ad account. I may not be in LeadKlozer, but if a super fan comments, send me a notification. I want to know when I'm not even in the app, right? If a customer engages with me, sends me a message, makes a comment, I want a notification, right? Send me a text or send me an email, or we're going to make it where you say, send it all to me immediately, or no, group everything and send me a text with a link that I can see over the last hour what notifications that I wanted to see, that I've configured, that I want to be notified about. So, or send me a recap once a day, however you want to see it. But the most important time to follow up to a lead is when they're engaging with you. So we're creating a whole notification system that you can customize for whatever kind of engagement you want, however you want to receive it, whenever you want to receive it. But that's coming out towards the end of next month as well.
Awesome. Super excited for these new features. And we have got one more question which says, are you planning to have like an Android app or something?
So everything works in the mobile browser right now. So
Okay.
at some point we'll probably have an app, but everything that I've shown you here that we saw on a desktop, you can do in the app or a mobile browser. So there will be a whole new level of notifications you can do. If you can get notifications on your phone and everything. But if you can get an SMS text notification, you're going to find it when you just have your phone with you, right? So what we're doing is we're focusing on getting the features out that are going to help everybody the most. And you can do 99.9% of what we showed here on the mobile browser. So right now, that's lower on the priority list, but it is going to come out. It is in the roadmap.
Yes, Chaitanya, if you see LeadKlozer and the journey with PitchGround over the past few years, you can see that we've been walking hand in hand, and the features, the insane development that has gone into this product, the new features that are coming in the future. I mean, we've seen through it all, and Steve has just followed up and has grown this through like so beautiful. I mean, this is so good. So Chaitanya, indeed, we're gonna have new features that are coming in, as Steve told you about. And yes, Android app will be there somewhere in the future, but not as an immediate priority. But yes, with this level of speed that you're executing, Steve, it's going to be there soon.
Fantastic.
Yep. So do we have any more questions, guys? The viewers who are watching this right now, we've just hit the 1 hour mark. That means you're really, really interested in this product because you are serious about your Facebook marketing efforts. And I totally understand that Facebook doesn't let you do all of these things, which you just showed you. Tracking all your super fans, tracking all the missed comments, all from a single dashboard, exporting your super fans into, based on the UID so that you can use it for Facebook ads audiences. Guys, this is something, if you're into Facebook marketing, this is a tool that you will cherish. You will start using it from day one and you're gonna love this. And that's why.
One thing I'll say about those super fans. So I was very fortunate. I got brought in by the agency that was doing in the United States, for all 50 states, the head of each state is called the governor. And so just like, Donald Trump was in the presidential race this last November, right? So there was a bunch of gubernatorial races. And we were brought in by a candidate for governor. And we increased the amount of donations that they got to do their own ad campaigns by 65%. And the agency that I'm not a part of attributed that 65 or 2/3 of that 65% increase, which we increased $1 million in donations. They said 2/3 of that we can attribute to LeadKlozer in the superfan strategy, because superfans are your biggest loyalists. They're your advocates, right? Not only are they your best leads, but they're the best ones. So Shabaram, man, you're a superfan. You're one of our biggest advocates. I love it. Right? Graham George, I don't know if you're on here, he loves LeadKlozer, right? So
yes,
every business has huge fans, but you've just never been able to, like, you can know the top 3, 4, 5, right? But to keep track of like the top 100. So we took the top 500 super fans and we had a 10-point strategy about how we used them in the campaign for that gubernatorial campaign. And that's what made all the difference. It is gold. For you to know your super fans is where you have your own gold mine that you can just keep digging. So you just can't underscore the importance of knowing that, it's criminal. We couldn't do that before. That's crazy. Wow.
I can totally imagine if you're doing it on that huge scale. I mean, it's impossible from just the Facebook to track all. No matter how many people you put it, it's just the tool. I mean, it's so hard that Facebook doesn't even allow us to do all of this, but LeadKlozer can. And guys, that is why you need LeadKlozer. That is, if you're serious about your Facebook marketing efforts, that is. You saw, if you've just joined in, I can see a few more people joining in. Guys, we are almost at the end of this webinar, but the replay would be in our page or our group, etc. And you can just watch the replay. You can see how a LeadKlozer helps you boost your Facebook marketing efforts. Thank you so much for the Pitch Ground team as interacting with persons who bring up the tool to enhance our knowledge and also help to decide to buy the tools, and they're worth it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chaitanya.
Can I tell you one thing on that superfan thing too?
Yeah.
So I'm working with an agency right now, has a client, and we're creating a strategy where we're calling it the top 100. And we're rewarding people that are in our top 100 superfan list. And they're creating a Facebook group just for the superfans. They're giving them discounts and access and training and different things. And they're telling everybody else, if you want to be in the top, top 100 superfan club, is what I forget what we're calling it. It's not a club, but that's the concept, right? All you got to do is engage, right? So they're motivating all these people because they're getting value for free being in this top 100. But what they're doing is they're motivating people to engage, right? And they're rewarding those people that are their top engagers, that are their top influencers. And then inside of that Facebook group, part of what they're doing is they're helping them evangelize for the business. Because now you have your 100 most loyal fans in a Facebook group that you're nurturing that relationship.
And guys, 100 most loyal fans in one single Facebook group. I mean, you're building a community of your loyalists, some people call it as army, etc. And guys, these are your evangelists. They're going to talk about your product. They're going to send it to
my trackpad and I
it's all right. I was just telling them about having 100 most loyal, engaged people in one single group, getting to know each other, and that could lead to a massive growth in the tool because they're just going to talk about their friends, about the superfan club. They're going to talk about the tool because they're most engaged and you're rewarding them. It's just like insane community building.
Everybody wants to be recognized, and I'm part of the top 100, right? I mean, it's easy to do this kind of stuff.
True, absolutely. And with that, we have come to the end of this webinar. Guys, all the people who are watching this webinar, you can find the link to LeadKlozer above this video. It's conveniently located above this video. That's pitchground.com/products/LeadKlozer. You can just go on and check out the different plans. Plans are from $4.99 yearly to all the way down to $59. Like, you can choose whatever plan that you want, whatever plan your budget does, because if you're an agency, you might as well need the $250, the $500 plan. But if you're like a freelancer or a solopreneur, you don't need that many features, etc. I mean, pages, etc. You can just go up for the lower plan and be good with it. So we have plans to cater every single one of you. And because we don't want you to, left out to have this kind of feature only for the exclusive elites who can just track all the comments. No, this is accessible to everyone. And you too can track your super fans, build an engaged community of your loyalists, interact with your customers, and boost your Facebook marketing efforts and get more ROI, especially just from the organic itself. But if you're thinking of paid, it unlocks a whole new level of the possibilities that we can achieve with this tool. So thank you so much for watching this webinar. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us on our Facebook group, Facebook page, in the comment section, and we will get back to you because we have LeadKlozer and we know where to find you. Just from the dashboard, all the missed comments, we just click it, we're just going to reply to your comment and boom, Yes, we use LeadKlozer for ourselves too. So finding a comment is not that difficult at all. So yes, that's why we encourage you to leave more comments. And yep, we're gonna find you, we're gonna answer you, and solve every single query that you have about this tool. Thank you so much for joining, and this was a lovely webinar, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.